I'm Chris Puckett, and welcome to MLG Weekly, a place for people who like flag caps, blue flame hellions, and triple kills. This week, we take you back in time as we revisit the 2011 Major League Gaming regular season. As the hype and tension builds for the teams and players who practice and prepare for the national championships, here's a look back at the most exciting moments from MLG's biggest year. 2011 was the year of StarCraft 2. The year the world took notice of a game that has been neglected in the West for over a decade. The year that the most successful esport franchise of all time would hit American shores in force. Leading the charge, Major League Gaming kicked off the 2011 Pro Circuit in Dallas. Although the Koreans were absent, Dallas marked the homecoming for the one and only Idra, the American Zerg who'd been competing in Korea's GSL Code S until just a few weeks prior to the event. Idra entered Dallas as the center of attention, but there were other dogs in this fight. Not least of all was Huck, who managed to hallucinate his way to victory over Idra in pool play, laying the foundations for what would become one of the premier rivalries in StarCraft 2.
All hallucinations doing absolutely no damage whatsoever. There's the blink up onto the high ground, just trying to distract Idra. Those hallucinated Void Rays almost fully charged, and Idra left the game. When I first played Brood War, someone said, wouldn't it be funny if you hallucinated a bunch of carriers and your opponent just left? That is what we just saw here at MLG.
The pool play success story to watch was Naniwa, the surly Swedish Protoss who tore through the open bracket and then took Pool D with a 4-0 sweep. Building on a hugely successful event for Team Dignitas, Naniwa continued through the championship bracket undefeated, dispatching opponents with relative ease, taking the Dallas crown.
Not enough. More coming from that pylon that was not spotted.
Good game, Naniwa! The European, the champion.
When summer hit, the heat was turned up at the next MLG Pro Circuit stop in Columbus. 5 Koreans made the 16-hour trek to Ohio to compete and in the end show exactly why Korea was, and still is, revered in the world of StarCraft 2. 2,000 chairs weren't enough for the packed house in Columbus that came to see their heroes play. July, MMA, Losira, MC, and Moon, as well as the best non-Korean heavyweights, all came to battle for supremacy. July started off the event with a bang, tearing through the open bracket as one would expect the God of War to do. The amped crowd stood behind the Zerg hero to witness his march toward a championship.
He be dead here, Tasteless. GG.
That march could only be stopped by another top Korean. MMA, the son of Boxer, would do just that, stopping July to take the pool with ease, dropping only a single game on his way to the championship.
Not going to kill the hatchery quite yet. July Zerg says GG.
MMA's road to the finals was littered with the corpses of great players. Idra, Losira, Sho, Shep, July, and many more fell in his pursuit of the title. The backdrop to the crowning of the young emperor was a crowd unlike any that had been seen in Western StarCraft yet. A huge, passionate, and savvy army that knew exactly how to show their thanks to some of the greatest players on the planet.
At the drop of a hat, GG, and we now have our MLG Columbus champion.
MMA's quest to repeat his championship run in Anaheim came up against the greatest obstacle in StarCraft 2, the best player in the world, I am MVP. While the little emperor fought MVP, the original emperor Boxer was fighting the world. Just weeks after an article describing the downfall of Boxer became the center of attention in Korea, he came to Anaheim on a mission to show that the rumors of his demise had been much exaggerated. Spectacular wins over Idra,
Oh my God!
and Rain
He's
catapulted
lining him up, and there's a good game.
catapulted Boxer to third place, sending the fans into a frenzy, ecstatic to watch the greatest esports legend of all time defy the odds once again. MMA eventually knocked his mentor Boxer out of the tournament to secure a place in the finals against MVP. With a decisive 2-1 victory in the championship, MVP left the world wondering who, if anyone, could stop the Game Genie.
The MLG 2011 champion, and we see more auto turrets dropping, and good game, GG! The final boss holds. MVP undefeated in this tournament, takes the win against MMA.
The next stop on the pro circuit in Raleigh saw the continuation of the Korean invasion. Koka, Bomber, Dongregoo, Puma, and a host of other top pros made their way through Hurricane Irene to compete for the championship. Bomber emerged from the storm with a gold medal after wins over DRG, Coca, and Idra that can only be categorized as decisive.
Stay defended, but the gold will fall. And there it is. Good game. Bomber is your champion.
Bomber's win in Raleigh made him an odds-on favorite in Orlando, the next Pro Circuit event. Bomber started off the tournament with a bang, taking his group, only losing to the rising Swede Sase. Marine King, who'd been flown to the US by a group of fans who raised thousands of dollars in a matter of hours, did his part, winning the open bracket and taking the pool with his trademark charismatic play. Huck, the Canadian Protoss hero, was the only foreigner to win a pool. Top Korean's MC in July fell before the incredible Huck, who is in top form after training in Korea.
From all angles, and he might just take down that Colossus.
He is really working on it right now. The Colossus though being back and forth, but the range units are gone, and it sits up on top of the cliff. There finally does get some hits. It will go down, and look at that. Huck will defend that.
What followed was one of the greatest championship brackets of all time. Boxer again derided by his critics as Over the Hill shocked audiences everywhere by defeating Stefano and Sase in stunning fashion before falling to Idra in a classic 7-game series that will be talked about long after the season is over.
GG! And this is just insane. Yeah, I honestly didn't think the strategy was going to work.
No, I don't think anyone did. Well, maybe only Slayer's Boxer, and GG!
Slayer's Boxer looks like he might break this natural expansion. And the hatchery is about to be destroyed.
Oh my God, what are we seeing here? Yeah, we should be seeing him leave, and GG!
Slayer's Boxer seems to be coming back against the powerhouse Hydra.
And Slayer's Boxer has way overextended himself. The max Hydra against sub 100 supply Boxer.
That many times, lands his
wow,
mule,
that's
and
it,
GG!
Idra took the baton from Boxer and ran. Coming up against the man who eliminated him in Raleigh, Idra defeated Bomber 2-1 in a marathon series that put both players to the test. After the slugfest with Boxer, Idra was pushed to the limit again and again, but kept coming out on top. It took the resurgence of MC, the Kratos Protoss, to finally take down the Kraken. MC, who'd won 2 Code S titles in Korea but then dropped to the bottom levels of the GSL, had suddenly returned to top form, and it was Idra who had to bear the brunt of his wrath. All the while, Huck, the great foreign hope, was winning with shocking ease. Fan favorite Marine King Prime was first to fall, followed by the STC, who'd been undefeated before he met the Canadian. The finals were quick and painless for everyone except MC. Huck smoked him 4-1 to become the first Western player to win an MLG event since the Koreans first stepped on American soil.
Nothing at all left here, and GG!
Make some noise!
The first 2-time MLG champion.
With the regular season in the books, the stage is set for the ultimate showdown. An international cast of pros will travel to Providence and put it all on the line for the chance to be called the 2011 Major League Gaming Pro Circuit StarCraft 2 National Champion. Call of Duty's reputation as one of the most competitive and balanced franchises in video game history made it a no-brainer for the 2011 MLG Pro Circuit. And although Black Ops players were new to the pressures of live Pro Circuit competition, a thriving online community and MLG's $25,000 pre-event ladder ensured that teams were well-practiced and ready to compete at the first stop in Dallas, Texas. Quantic Leverage entered Dallas as the top seed and favorite to win after finishing the online ladder as champions with a staggering 64-6 record. After faltering in the winners bracket finals to Resistance, Leverage dismantled Optic Gaming in the losers finals to force a championship rematch.
Leverage was able to get a full domination, so now the points are really going to start tacking on.
Yeah, if we were in Optic shoes right now, my heart would be racing. This is a little bit demoralizing.
But Leverage is going to go ahead and take this game.
Looking like a totally different squad, Leverage picked Resistance apart in 4 quick games to secure the first MLG Call of Duty Black Ops trophy.
Really big lead to start it out.
Really prove a point.
Yeah, man, Scumpy's just doing everything right now. He's, oh my goodness!
Wow.
A great job to them, a true #1 seed, true professionals, and you know what? We're gonna see them again in Columbus, and they're definitely gonna be the team to beat as we move into that.
For the second stop of the season, MLG headed east to Columbus, Ohio. Reigning champs Leverage entered as the undisputed favorites to win. Yes! But Optic Gaming's acquisition of sharpshooter Rambo had many fans claiming that they were going to topple Leverage and the rest of the competition. But after the winners bracket matches concluded, it was Force who sat on top, awaiting a challenger, having defeated the Dallas champs and Fear to advance to the finals.
We don't stop at any time. We want to win by the most flags, by the most points, and be the best.
In the losers bracket, Optic Gaming steadily increased their momentum round by round, eventually exacting revenge on Leverage and then dominating 9-seeded Fear in the battle for third.
Trying to support his main OBJ player, which is Moho lately, and they are a really good team when they are clicking right. Hopefully they worked out the problem. Big timer with a big knife on Moho.
Moho was dotted up on the radar.
In the grand finals, OG would need to take down Force twice in order to win their first MLG title. It's hard to say whether Force's nerves got the best of them or Optic's tremendous play was just too much to handle, but the finals were a lopsided affair, with Optic winning both series 3-0 to take the title in undefeated fashion.
In opposition on top, B serves here, throwing the stuns through the window and finishing out through the wall. Optic completely click and form a team that is so dominating. I don't know if there's a team out there able to be and match heads with these guys right now.
After two events, the top two teams in Call of Duty both lay claim to a title. Top seed Quantic Leverage made a controversial roster addition after a disappointing fourth place finish in Columbus, adding Proofy to their lineup. Meanwhile, Optic Gaming came into the third event as the favorites after their triumphant run in Columbus. Fans would get what they wanted as the two Call of Duty juggernauts met up in the losers bracket finals. Many expected to see the most competitive series of the tournament, but instead they saw Leverage take the series over Optic in 4 games.
The Leverage train, the Quantic Leverage train in full effect, and they are going to pull out a victory here, sending Optic into third place.
Look at this. They're going to go ahead and try to be able to get one more flag cap here. It's going to make it 8-3.
This set up one of the most epic finals in MLG history. After losing the 4th game in the continuation series against Fear, Leverage battled all the way back to Force Game 11, where they took the victory in their second title of the season. Leverage's controversial acquisition of Proofy proved to be a smart choice as they moved into Raleigh with a stranglehold on the top seed. Entering the 4th Pro Circuit stop in Raleigh, fans were focused on Leverage and Optic Gaming, but quietly fighting in the shadows was Team Fear. Behind great play from Fizz and John, Fear took out Optic in the winners bracket semis and then beat Envy for a spot in the championship match.
Unstoppable.
As right there, it's going to be 4-0 now. It's going to be the score. We'll go ahead and call it there.
Neither Optic Gaming nor Leverage could navigate the losers bracket this time, as 17-seeded Cinderella Story Collapse took out Envy in 11 games for a shot at the impossible against Fear.
Collapse takes it here over Eon Envy as it comes down to the 11th game type in this series.
The finals began competitively with Fear winning the first game in overtime behind some clutch play from Fear's ace Assassin.
The first one taking out Caramel with the jump shot, and now he's left here trying to bait the player coming out here. And it is a one-on-one. Pikachu is trying to hold it out here. Time's going away. He's baiting him with the bomb pickup time and time again, and he goes down, picking up the win. Assassin proving again. He's
big,
so clutch.
Shuts them down. An Assassin doing such a great job.
The loss was too much for Collapse as they relinquished the remaining games to Fear's superior firepower. After 2 near misses in Columbus and Anaheim, Fear finally stood atop the podium, taking the crown. The drama of the first 4 events made the 5th tour stop in Orlando almost impossible to call. Leverage, Fear, and Optic Gaming all laid claim to first place finishes, and Collapse's Cinderella run gave lower seeds tremendous confidence. The big question was who would assert themselves as the team to beat heading into the national championships. Right off the bat, another Cinderella team would again shock the arena. Vendetta would be the second 17th seed to go to the winners bracket finals, where they faced a confident Optic Gaming squad hot off a 3-0 sweep of Raleigh champs Team Fear. Vendetta fought hard and pushed the series to a decisive Game 5 search and destroy, and after ending their half up 3-0, the upset seemed imminent. But Optic came back to win 4-3 in one of the most clutch rounds in Black Ops history.
20 seconds left here in the round. Waffles get spotted. They both go down. Optic Gaming comes down. They had a deficit of 3-0. And then out of nowhere, they come out to play.
Unshaken by the bitter loss, Vendetta fought past Eon Envy in 11 games to force a rematch in the grand finals. Riding their momentum, Vendetta quickly evened the series with Optic at 3 apiece. But Optic was simply too much, winning Game 10 to earn their second trophy of the season.
It's back around, he's been spotted, so now they know that Waff is over there towards that C-Shack, over towards the map.
That's it!
Jumping, and J-Cap takes him out, and
there you have it, Optic Gaming, the MLG Orlando champions.
While Optic showed us their first title was no fluke, the biggest lesson to be learned after epic runs from Collapse and Vendetta was that no one is safe at the top. Entering Providence, the competition is truly more dangerous than ever before. While Optic and Fear's consistent play in the second half of the season places them as the clear favorites, Leverage, Envy, and a host of other teams are all vying for the top prize at the National Championships in Providence. The 2011 Major League Gaming Pro Circuit season marked the beginning of the Halo Reach era. With the competitive slate wiped clean, a huge pool of talent came into the first event in Dallas vying for the coveted MLG title. After 2 days of competition, 2 teams stood above the rest. Veteran Status Quo, still seeking the first MLG title, advanced to the winner's bracket finals by defeating Team Instinct.
Live, he is top middle, and so is Roy's coming, and that's it. Ace is gonna put it in. 5-0 from Status Quo.
On the other side of the bracket, up-and-comers Team Impact, led by veteran Neighbor, said heavily favored Believe the Hype to the losers bracket with an all-out aggressive style.
Adrenaline, the only 2 members alive for Impact. The flag so close to being scored. Lethal can see it in his sights. He's sprinting forward, and there we go. Impact is going to take the series.
Status Quo struggled with Impact in the winners finals, managing a close 3-2 victory.
There's another perfect 3 as he picks up the kill on Amish. They're going for number 50. Quo advances to the finals.
And after Impact sent BTH packing in the losers bracket finals, many fans expected to see a long, competitive series.
It's Maniac with the grenade launcher for number 49. And here we go, the final kill. Lethal can smell it. There's Cloud, and there's the finish from Amish Acorns.
Instead, SQ showed their poise on the big stage, sweeping Impact, finally bringing home their first MLG title after coming up just short so many times in the past.
Push forward, the bomb is gonna go down. That's 3 down for Impact. Adrenaline, the last one there, and as time counts out, Status Quo is going to win it 6-2. Status Quo takes home the championship here in Dallas, Texas, our opener of the 2011 Pro Circuit season.
With the championship hump now off their back, Status Quo rolled into Columbus as the top seed. But many fans saw them as an underdog to Team Instinct, the newly formed God Squad with twins Roy and Lunchbox and former teammates from Final Boss, Pistola and Ogre 2. Wrong so many times in the past, the hype machine may have been dead on this time around. Instinct rolled through pool play undefeated and then lost only 1 game to Dynasty before sweeping Straight Rippin' to advance to the championship with an 18-1 record. In the losers bracket, Straight Rippin' picked up momentum, rolling through Dynasty en route to a rematch with Instinct. But they were still unable to take even 1 game as Instinct finished the tournament nearly untarnished with a 21-1 overall record, taking the top spot.
Lunchbox moving that 5th flag. Chris here, he brings it up. Is anyone from Straight Rippin' in position to stop him? They will not. Ogre 2 is here, and there goes Instinct takes home Columbus.
Here you go. Here's your trophy. Enjoy. Well deserved.
In an effort to take down the God Squad, most teams changed rosters before our 3rd event in Anaheim. But teamwork and preparation are hard-earned, and after pool play concluded, Status Quo and an undefeated Instinct would both advance for a showdown in the winners bracket finals. Instinct truly lived up to their God Squad handle in the series, sweeping the Dallas champions to bring their record to a staggering 18-0.
Oh, this one's all over,
That
Walshy.
1 cap was not worth it. They need to be able to get the caps while keeping control.
And Instinct remains undefeated, taking down Status Quo 3-0.
After defeating Classic in 10 games, Status Quo advanced for a rematch with Instinct. SQ was now the only thing that stood between the God Squad and tournament perfection. But fate would not be denied, and Instinct would not let anyone stand in their way, dismantling SQ in 3 games to finish 21-0.
The game continues. The flag wants in his return. Instinct will be crowned the champions. Ace is there. Ogre 2 will not get the return. Ace keeps it alive momentarily. Assault trying to push in here. This one so chaotic at the end. Roy going for the return. Grenades coming in from all directions, but he gets it. The game is over. Instinct takes home our championship here in Anaheim.
This stellar run took their overall record for the last 2 tournaments to a mind-blowing 42-1, both Major League Gaming records. With one of the greatest streaks in MLG history now in progress, a slew of new teams joined forces to compete with Instinct at MLG's 4th stop in Raleigh. Dynasty and Believe the Hype were the first to show cracks in Instinct's armor, taking games off of Roy and company, but neither team could stop them from advancing to the championship match.
47-42, all kinds of grenades. Reliable versus Ogre 2. Reliable is going to get help from Formal, but Roy will clean up the double. 50-43, Instinct wins our winner's bracket final.
In the losers bracket finals, Believe the Hype lost to a charging Infamous crew who had already taken out Status Quo and Dynasty earlier in the day.
They need to realize this is the last cap. This is their tournament life right now. But they've got 3 down. Maniac, the last one alive. He goes down. Blaze coming up huge once again. And it looks like this may be the final cap as a really good noob puts it in to take game number 3 and complete the sweep for Infamous.
Infamous entered the championship match needing to beat Instinct in 2 5-game series. The first game down to the wire, but Infamous caught fire behind savvy sniping to win and force a best of 11.
Lunchbox taking fire. Infamous, Blaze is battling bottom middle. A really good noob picking up number 49. He did not hit his melee, but Blaze will finish it. We are going to a best of 11.
Now running on adrenaline, Infamous continued their full-on assault, going up 5-3 in the series. Instinct battled back in Game 9, but Infamous would not be denied, winning yet another Team Slayer, ending the God Squad's legendary run and becoming one of the lowest seeds to ever win a Halo event.
49-47, and APG finishes the double to win Raleigh.
Infamous set out in Orlando to show that they were no one-hit wonder. After rolling through pool play, they put doubts to rest by sweeping Triggers down to claim a spot in the winners bracket finals. To everyone's surprise, they would face Dynasty, who behind newly acquired teammates Formal and Destin sent Instinct to the losers bracket for the first time since their formation. The loss meant a trip to Status Quo land for Instinct, who battled back from their disappointing loss to force a Game 5 on Pit Slayer. But Status Quo gained an early lead that they wouldn't relinquish, sending shockwaves through the venue as Instinct took a 5th place exit.
As SQ looks to close this out, Assault has Pistola in his view, but Pistola is going to be able to escape here, and Ogre 2 is going to go down. Status Quo is going to advance and eliminate Instinct, our number 1 seed overall.
After an embarrassing 3-0 loss to Dynasty in the winners bracket finals, Infamous recovered quickly, taking out Warriors in a grueling 11-game series to set up a rematch with Dynasty in the championship match. At the last event in Raleigh, Infamous won 6 of 7 to send Dynasty packing. This time, things were different. After losing Game 4, Dynasty's new dynamic duo win a combined 29-15 in Countdown TS, and then in the deciding Game 8 CTF Countdown, they combined for a +16 record, securing Dynasty's first ever MLG title.
Heinz is going to be taken out, so this flag looks like it could be stopped, but Formal still has these rockets. He desperately needs to get back to his base and secure this flag.
Ryan Noob getting the return. No,
oh my God.
Coming up huge, getting the kill on the guy running the flag, and they're going to get the return. And I don't know if there's anyone in position, and there it is.
Oh my God.
Dynasty wins MLG Orlando.
After 5 events, 4 talented teams lay claim to a share of the regular season titles. Status Quo, Instinct, Dynasty, and Infamous are the most serious threats to take home the MLG National Championship and the $100,000 grand prize. But chasing at their heels is an established group of veterans and deadly newcomers who won't make the road easy. Be sure to watch it all go down in Providence as the best in the world compete for the Major League Gaming National Championship. Well, that's it for this week's episode. Join us next time on MLG Weekly when we bring you the most in-depth coverage of the world of competitive gaming.